Yeah.
Woo! Microphone check. 1, 2, 1,
One,
2.
two.
This is the Blaze the Lion podcast. As all the viewers slowly walk in to the virtual studio,
Yes.
this is the Blaze the Lion podcast. I am your host, Blaze the Lion, a man on a mission, man with a vision. Hmm. And for this month's theme in January,
Mm-hmm.
it's none other than the DJs.
Mm-hmm.
Have we forgotten the DJs?
I think they have. Yes.
Had, had the DJs fallen off?
Nah.
Hmm. Never that. Never that. Never that. The DJs are special. If you're a hip hop head, if you're a lover of music,
Mm-hmm.
it starts with the DJs.
Mm.
You go to a house party, no matter how strong the liquor, well,
Mm.
that may or may not. But no matter how good the food is,
There
right?
you go.
And how great the drinks are
Uh-huh.
and the people, if the music ain't right,
Mm-hmm. That's it.
the
Kill 'em
night ain't
all.
right, man.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. So this is episode 56. January is all about the DJs. So to top it off, the beginning of the year, we had Ice Squad DJs. We had DJ Smoke and DJ Smooth.
My
And
brother.
they spoke about paying dues.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You don't hear that phrase anymore, paying dues. People just want it now. They want it instant. You're looking on social media, you have an idea and you just want it now. Mm-hmm. Then last week we had Hot 97's own DJ Tony Tone. We got to start in New York City and spoke about the Bronx and spoke about getting on radio and killing it at house parties and block parties and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And tonight, well, you got to wait for it. Before we get into tonight's guest, big shout out to Ice Squad TV. You're viewing this now through YouTube Live and on Ice Squad TV on Facebook. All right. As I always say, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a damn friend about the Blaze the Line podcast. So if you're watching this right now, click that like button. Yes, that means you got to do it every time. Yes, every time. Episode 56. Click like on this particular episode. Yes. And make sure, look at the top, make sure you are subscribed to the Blaze the Line podcast because we do this every week. Indeed. Big shouts to our sponsor, Star Child Social. For all your digital marketing needs, logos, website design, marketing, overall branding for your business, for your look, for you. How do you have a company? How do you have a business? And there's no branding. They can't even tell where you have your hands in. Come on now. Go to www.starchildsocial.com and tell them Blaze sent you. You may or may not get a discount, but just tell them anyway. Indeed. All right. If you are loving the movement and you want to get involved, you got money to spare, I'll take it. All right.
There you go.
I'll take it. You can go to anchor.fm/blazethelion/support. And we have three tiers, as low as $1 per month, $1 per month.
Can't beat that.
Come on now. Second tier is $5 a month, and third tier is $9.99. And you get what I'm not wearing because I'm talking about branding, and I'm not branding myself like my guest is. But in any case, you get the Blaze the Line podcast, right? Apparel. I need water, clearly.
I got some. It's not water. I got some.
Oh, man. Yes. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. Make sure you share. Tell a friend. Listen, the Blaze the Line podcast is on. And the theme is DJs for January. And he has a guy on that he looks familiar or that logo looks familiar.
Yes.
Where have I seen that?
Everywhere.
Has it been a concert? Has it been a showcase? Has it been a talent show? Has it been an event for the community? All of that. Now, as you all know who've been following this show, I like the camera. And I can talk for a long time. And I don't mind hearing myself talk. However, this show would not be what it is today without my guests. My guests are the reason you guys tune in. Because y'all see me everywhere. Y'all can hear Blaze talk whenever. But it's for my guests. You guys show up to see my guests, to get insight, to get gems. So with that being said, tonight's guest for episode 56 is,
That's right.
in case you couldn't tell, a business owner. He got guns on him. For those listening to the audio, you might not know what guns I'm talking about, but that's okay.
We ready, boy. We ready.
He is lock and loaded. This guest right here is, of course, a DJ, radio host, entrepreneur, someone who is unfiltered.
Yes.
You need that.
Yes.
Give it to you straight, like what he's drinking right now.
Like that.
Giving it to you straight. He is well known, man, in these music circles. He's linked up with some great artists, man, from pop artists to R&B artists to hip hop artists to spoken word artists. He is a major facet in this music industry. This is someone here who can see talent. And he'll tell you, bruh, go back to the drawing board. Man. He is somebody who has roots in New York, but he is a Florida resident right here.
I'm Floridian 100%, baby.
This person here is none other than tonight's guest for episode 56. Woo, DJ Ben Hop.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Blaze. Thank you so much, Blaze. And I do want to say too, you got like you and your whole like team, y'all do like phenomenal, like great stuff, positive stuff, energetic stuff. So you and your whole team keep doing what y'all do also.
Appreciate you.
Yes.
All right. So I gave my brief, keyword brief, introduction. So in case they weren't paying attention, give the listeners a little bit of a summary of exactly who you are.
Okay. Let me kind of shorten it down because it can be a little lengthy. But yes. Started DJing back in the mid 90s. And I was also producing and rapping. So I was kind of doing all three at the same time in the mid 90s. Like I said, grew up in New York, so I had that love for hip hop. You know, I had that hip hop in my blood. Of course, moved down here. And, you know, it wasn't really much hip hop when I moved down here. You know, I'm a little older, you know what I'm saying? So when I came out here, it wasn't really no hip hop. It's more.
Speak about it.
They call it the booty shake. That's what they used to call it. Like it's a lot of. That's what we used to call it, the booty shake. So it wasn't really no hip hop. So of course, when I started making beats and rapping, I kind of aligned myself with some other cats that were from up north. And then, like I said, I started DJing. And I started DJing house parties. That's how the DJing started. I was at my mom's house. She lived in Carol City. They call it Mommy Guns. Now, I don't know what they call it now, but Carol City. I know it as Carol City.
CC.
There you go, CC. I was DJing parties there with my boys. And it's so funny. I got like 8, like that. What's they call them? The VHS tapes of recordings of us actually doing the party. Like I got actually some tapes, but live at the house. I had turntables. I was getting records. I'm like, one of my boys, he cooking. My other boy, he fixing drinks. And I'm over here just spinning records. And that's how it all started. Just started spinning records, just doing house parties. And it was for fun because I love music. Like I said, the music was in me, that hip hop. And I gotta say, the a major influence in New York, and I remember when I really got into hip hop, and I'm gonna date myself now, is when I heard Run DMC, Sucker MC. Sucker MC. And I know for the young cats, they're like, well, what song is that? I gotta Google that. But
Google it.
you gotta Google it. I remember that's what really got me into hip hop. Like when I heard that track and I heard them rapping on it because it was like a raw beat and it was just them rapping. That's how I got into hip hop. And then that's how I ended up getting to the DJing. And like I said, one thing led to another. Shout out to my brother DJ God. Um, Another DJ, another producer I was rocking with at the time. You know, he was DJing on the beach. He kind of plugged me in, and the rest was history after that. Like I started DJing on South Beach, like all in the mid '90s, all the way on. Like that's where I was, like doing all types of different spots on South Beach. And you talking about carrying records? Like if I could show you my records right here to my left, is just a wall of records right here, and I still have my records. But that's what I was doing: carrying records, turntables. You had to have needles, like you had to have the equipment to be a DJ. You know, so that's what it was. And there wasn't no technology with the turn, like with the computers now, kind of tell you how to match songs. You had to know music. So you had to know music to match while you DJing. And you got to turn around, flip, and get records. And sometimes you cutting your fingers because you're going through the albums. So it was really like something that you had to really be doing. You know what I'm saying? So yes. And I kept doing it. I'm still doing it to this day. I mean, I love the technology. Don't get me wrong. I love the technology. But I just feel like the technology has opened the door for anybody to do it now. So it's not like, to me, that's why I ventured out doing other stuff like the radio and other stuff. Because I feel like you can't just be a DJ now. Because just to be a DJ by itself is not enough nowadays. So that's like basically a long story short right there, man. Just started back in the mid 90s and just been doing it ever since. Ever since.
Isn't that how it is with a lot of things? Is that because of now technology and social media, anyone can put on their profile any title.
Tell me what is an influencer? When somebody goes, well, I'm an influencer. Like who you influencing? Like, but that's another story.
It's crazy. Some of these influencers, they making 6 figures and 7 figures.
Doing what? But that's another story. I don't know. But anyway.
They drinking a drink. They wearing. They do ratings on product. They do all types of. It's very different times, man. And I think 2 episodes ago when I was talking to DJ Smoke and DJ Smooth,
right?
I am a fitness trainer and I've been a trainer for 15 years.
Okay.
So I go back to where to advertise, there was no social media.
Right.
Advertise, you had your business cards and you had flyers. Right. And you would go from plaza to plaza and put the flyers on the cars. Yes. And I'd walk into businesses, hand them my cards. Hey, I'm a personal trainer, right? And do it that. And then the clients that I had would share their results with their hairdresser, you know, with their girlfriend or whatever. And that's how I built my business.
Right. Now
you have ladies and guys who were former porn stars or who had other things, and they're like, you know, I'm going to get a whole bunch of surgery and then say I'm a trainer. But they have such a big following that it works.
It works for them. And nobody, and at the end of the day, nobody is like hating on anybody's hustle. Like if you got to hustle, that's what it is. I'm just saying that with the profession of a DJ, it has changed the game so much. Like I said, back in the days, we could command a better price because it was few to really kind of choose from. Like in other words, if people wanted to hire a DJ, you only had a few, and you had to have you had to actually hire a person that was a DJ. That means that they had records, they had the equipment they had. So you could command a better price.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's like, you know, to command that price, and don't get me wrong, you as a DJ, you should always command what you deserve.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, whether or not you're gonna get that job, because you may ask that, you may ask for a certain amount. That person, that restaurant, that club owner, they may be like, I got somebody else that could do it for half that
Hmm.
or a quarter of that.
Hmm.
And what they're gonna do, they're gonna go to that person.
Hmm.
And then of course, nowadays you got apps and you got playlists that they put together to give to these DJs. So it's like, you get what I'm saying? So it watered down the game. So that's why I'm glad. I love when I see DJs actually do stuff, and I could tell like they doing it out of the love of the music, because the way they dig it into them crates, the way they playing the music, the way they changing it up. And that's one thing I say with me. Like if you hear me, I could take it from old to new and everything in between and keep that vibe going. Like I could spend 8 hours straight and you won't hear the same record twice,
Mm.
and that vibe would still be. I still keep that vibe going, because
Mm.
that's how that's how I lay it out when I'm DJing. So I look at like how I'm a DJ, how I'm gonna start the night, how I'm a peak the night, and how I'm gonna end the night. So that way you don't hear the same record twice. Like now if I'm doing a private party, right, like a wedding or like a birthday, and they want to hear damn what is that the electric
The
boogie, the
Cuban
electric
shuffle
slide
and
a
all
hundred
that.
times. I'm like, here you go. That's because that's what they pay me for. All right, here you go. I paid. But if I'm actually in a place where I have to control the vibe, then
Yeah.
yeah, that's how I'm gonna build it. I'm gonna build it in a way where you're not gonna hear the same record twice.
Mm.
So
I would hate when I would go to events
mm-hmm.
and I would hear one of my favorite songs 3 times in the night. It's no longer my favorite song. Like it was hot when you played it the first time in the night.
Yeah,
I was grooving. Then the second time, I was like,
yeah.
all right, I get it. We got more people here. By the third time, I'm like, okay, bro, come on.
But see, that's a beginning DJ, because perfect example. If you got there and it wasn't packed, he shouldn't have put that song. If it's like a hot song, that shouldn't be a song you throw on yet. You got a time when you're gonna play these songs, because you gotta look at your crowd. You gotta look at the peak. Like, people coming in. We in South Florida. First of all, living in South Florida, people go to clubs late out here. People may not come to the club till about 11, 12 o'clock. So really the peak of the night may be like 1:30. So
Mhm.
you gotta kind of not know how to pace yourself as a DJ to know what to play, so that way you're not playing the same thing twice. And I think that's the key right there. If you could do that without playing the same thing twice, you number one in my book. Number
Yeah.
one in my book.
Yeah. And you have to know, I guess I'm assuming you would have to know
Mm-hmm.
the venue. Because if it's a big club and you only see about 100 people in there, and you're assuming that's as big as it's gonna get,
Yeah,
and
you're
then an
gonna
hour
lose.
and a half later, you got another 400 people come.
Exactly. Exactly. And then another thing, as a DJ, you should be able to read the crowd.
Hmm.
Like, it's funny, like when people hire me, like, okay, I used to get people who call me and say, "Hey, I wanna hire you to DJ." And then the first thing they'll tell me is like, "Well, do you got a mix I could listen to?" And I told them, I said, "Yeah, I got mixes to listen to, but really that's not." I tell them, really that's not a factor, because number one, with the programs and with the playlists, anybody could put a mix together and it sounds good,
Yeah.
and you're gonna think that's what you're gonna get. But I tell them I read the crowd. I said I read the crowd. I read who's at your party. So you may have young folks, you may have middle-aged folks, you may have a little older folks there, depending on your party. I'm not talking about like if it's a club or whatever. But I'm saying I read the crowd. So
Yeah.
while I'm DJing, I'm looking at the crowd. I'm looking at how people are moving. Even when I'm going from one genre to the next, like if I'm like playing hip hop and I want to go into some like maybe reggae or some old, I'm looking at how they gonna feel it. You get what I'm saying? So that's a very key. That's another key for DJing is reading the crowd. You can't just play like a lot of the young DJs I work with, like like even with my son, I'm working with him to help him DJ. I tell him, listen, you got to read the crowd, son. You can't play what you want to play, what you like.
You see that all the time. DJ will be in the zone, and you're
They play
like,
what they want.
nobody jamming to this, bro.
Right.
And the DJ's feeling it.
Right. You gotta cater to your crowd, and you gotta be versatile. Now I tell you the truth. Now the music now is not like the music back then.
Absolutely.
Like when I was DJing in the 90s, the groups were very like everybody was different. Like what a Tribe Called Quest sound like. You know what a Busta Rhymes sound like. You know what a LL Cool J sound like. Like everybody sounds different. So now it's like with these new artists, everybody kind of sounds the same, and it's like then you have these one names. I'm like, who's this? So sometimes, and it's nothing. I get help from the young folks because if I'm gonna be relevant in this game of DJing, I got to be able to stay on top of what's going on now too.
Yeah.
So I get with the young folks. I say, what y'all listening to? What y'all? Okay, who these people? Okay, that's what y'all like. Boom, boom, boom. And I make sure I make myself aware of that too. So you can't be just stuck. Yeah, you could be a DJ and say, yo, I only want to do hip hop. Like I'm only gonna be a hip hop DJ. Okay, that's fine. You could do that. Are you gonna limit your money? Chances are, yeah. Because not everybody want to hire you and just hear hip hop all night. Okay, I'm gonna be just play all this new stuff. Okay. Are you gonna limit your money? You may limit your money because people may want to hear a little bit of the old and the new. So you got to be versatile. You can't just sit there. That's why I try to tell my guys, like the guys that I be around. I say, yo, you got to learn the game. You got to know everything in it, man. If this is what you want to do, if this is what you're gonna do.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I would agree that nowadays you'll go to a party, and unless they say it, sometimes you really have no clue if it's going to be a higher DJ or not, because people nowadays can go on an app and and just play the top 40 from the app.
Don't even get me started with the apps, boy.
And then you hear the commercials like in the middle of the party. You're like, ah.
Yep. I mean, I understand technology. I get it, and it has made my life easier. I'm not gonna lie. When I used to travel, because I used to travel to DJ, people used to book me, get on planes and stuff. And back then, I'm talking about you had to get on the plane with crates of records, and of course, you wanted to limit how many crates you brought. Like you didn't want to bring like 20, like so you want to bring like at least 5 crates, like. So that means you got to kind of pick the right records to play. Now, technology, listen, I have my laptop, I have my hard drive, I could have 1 million songs in that. I'm good. I could go wherever. You get what I'm saying? So yes, the technology made our life easier. But like I said, it also made it just watered it down to me. That's what I'm trying to say. It just kind of watered it down.
Yeah.
Kind of like the rap game too. Everybody want to rap now. So it's like, it's the same thing. Everybody want to rap now, so it just watered. It's just watered down. Hey, my dog. Yeah. Come up here. Yeah, so that's what it is, man.
And everybody in the 90s, they wanted to rap. We thought that was everybody in the 90s. Now it's really
right.
Everybody rap.
Exactly.
Or got a song or got a song idea. It's very oversaturated. But listen, man, people are getting money from it, so
that's good.
Who am I to tell them not to?
Yes, if that's your hustle, listen. If that's your hustle, get your hustle on. Hey, baby, that's your hustle. Get your hustle on. Do what you do. Nobody's telling you not to do it. Yeah, that's why I said, with me, I just don't do the radio. I mean, the DJing. That's why I started the radio. I actually started the radio when I was doing radio. I was actually DJing on Hot 105. That was one of their mixes on Hot 105, doing their Drive at 5, doing their lunch mix. So I was one of the DJs. And then shout out to LC. He was another DJ out there. And then we basically program director he told us, this is the list of songs I want you to play. He was like this. He came with a list like this. Like, this is the list of songs I want you to play. I want all this in the mix. It was the same songs. Like, I felt like I was playing the same music, but in different order. Like, and every day it was like the same thing. I said, you know what? We need to start this. And this was back in like 2000. I think it was 12, about 11, 12. We said, yo, let's start an internet station. Yeah. This was back then. And we said, let's start. Because he already had, shout out to LC, he already had a station called MOC Radio, which he still has. Stands for Music of Class Radio. He had like a website where he would upload his mixes. I was like, bro, let's make this shit a live station. Let's do our own stuff so we don't have to worry about, somebody telling us what to play. And that's how the radio started. That's how I got into the radio. From doing regular radio, I decided, no, listen, there's more music out there. Let me go. Let's start our own thing. And that's how we did. And we started back, like I said, back in like 2012. You're talking about before internet was really, people was listening to stuff on their phone, like before they had internet in the cars. We started that back then. That's how long ago I started this.
Let's segue right into that, man. Excitement Radio. For those who don't know.
There you go. Excitement Radio, baby. Right in the background right there. Excitement Radio right there. You know what I'm saying? Brandon. Our world, our way, baby. Our world, our way. You know what I'm saying? Brandon.
Indeed. So you all saw that there was something missing. It was lack of freedom. It was a lot of music and a lot of artists that weren't getting exposure.
Correct.
That were talented.
Correct. I'm gonna tell you. And I started the show. The Best Kept Secret is my independent artist show that I do every Monday. I started it back then too. Like when we first started the internet, I started the Best Kept Secret. And shout out to my brother Raynex. He the one that gave me the name of it. That's a Diamond D song. If y'all know hip hop, that's Diamond D got a song called The Best Kept Secret. But anyway, my brother was like, you should call it The Best Kept Secret. I was like, yo, I like that, man. And boom, it stuck. And I said, I started that back in 2012. And I was doing the same thing. And that's when independent artists was like really not like had any kind of respect. Like if you say independent, people didn't even look at you. So, but I was showing love and I was getting music from people all the time. Like people was sending me music and I would play it. And I'm talking about from back then till now, I always get music. I'm talking about when I first started to this day, I'm still getting music from people. That goes to show you how much people out there are doing music, like how many people out there doing music. So yes, I started it back then and it was all about and the reason I did it because like I said, I was an independent artist too. Like I was an artist too. Yeah. So as a DJ, I also was an artist. I was doing music, I was producing. So I wanted to be heard too. I mean, I did a couple of shows. I opened up for some acts, but yeah, I wanted to be heard too. So yes, I started that and I've been doing it ever since. Live. Shout out to Shy Will, my co-host too.
Shout out to Shy Will. What up, Queen? Yes.
I mean, I started off the show solo. Then I went from Manda Esco. Shout out Manda Esco, my girl Manda Esco. She actually was my first female host. And then from there, I went, shout out Lisa Ford. Lisa Ford was also a host. And then after Lisa Ford, of course, Shy Will came. So and then Shy Will is still there to this day. So, So shout out to all the ladies that were part of the Best Kept Secret. They are part of history because I've been doing it. That's why I say anybody out there talking about they doing it, I say, I'm trying not to cuss. Nick, I've been doing it. I've been doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I got a track record, man. I could bring it back. I could show you. You know, I don't want to get too hyped now. Go ahead.
Talk to him now. Talk to him. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what it was, man. And like I said, through the years, I developed the show a little more because in the beginning, I was just playing the music. So now, what I do now is I play it, and now I give feedback on it. So when people send me music, I actually tell them what I think about their music, and I always tell them, listen. In the beginning of the show, I always say, listen, my feedback should just be feedback. So you should take it as constructive criticism. I'm not here to bash nobody because first of all, I don't put songs on my show that I feel like I can't talk good about. Like that's not the type of show I'm trying to do. Like I'm not doing one of these what they call it, rush it or flush it or is lit or hit or whatever miss. I'm not doing with them shows. I'm doing a show where I just want to expose people who are doing music and are doing a good job at it. Okay, and I got my categories, of course, the A, B, and C category. A category, like I always say, if you're in the A category, but that means your joint is so hot, like your joint is fire, like you should be played on every radio station out there in America. So if you're in that category, boom, you instantly like to me you hot. B category, you sound good. It may be something missing. You may need more work to tighten up your thing, but you on the right path. You sounding good. I've had a lot of artists that fall in that B category that as the years go by, they were sending me new stuff. You could hear how they got better at their craft, like they got hotter. C category, I ain't messing with you, dog. Like I ain't wasting my time. Don't email me back. You know, I keep it moving. I keep it moving. So if you fall in C, you don't hear from me. Don't get mad. I just keep it moving.
On that, have you ever had an artist or artists that they sent you music and they were in the C category? You're like, okay, I'm straight. And then a year or two later, you're like, this is A quality, huge growth.
Yes. No, listen. I've had artists, and don't get me wrong, I have artists that see the category that still are in the C category. I'm like, dog, I think you need to find another profession. Like, you know what I'm saying? But no, I've had artists, like I said, when I first heard them, you know, and this is why I say this is the producer in me now. Because you gotta remember, I also produce too.
Right.
So I say this is the producer in me, because when I hear them, I say, yo, they got, you know, a good little flow, or they might have a good sound, or they writing and something is there. They may just be missing something, or when they laid it down, they didn't have that right producer to kind of push them in that right direction. Because that's a lot of times, a lot of these artists may just go to a studio, and like I said, me as a producer, I used to sit there and kind of push my artists in the direction I wanted them to go. Like if they went in the booth and laid a verse, and I'm like, no, you could do that over. Like do that over. Like hit that verse again. Like do it again.
All that stuff matters.
Yes, it matters
The
because
voice inflections and the
all of
pauses.
that, all of that. And I told him, I said, because the way you lay it down today, that's how it's gonna sound forever. So if you lay it flat, every time you play it, it's gonna sound flat. But if you lay it down hot, every time you play that song, it's gonna sound hot. That's why I told him. So you gotta remember, and that was the producer in me. So what I'm saying is, a lot of these artists, I don't know what their background is. I don't know if they working with somebody. I don't know if they just buying beats and just going to the studio. You know, because you could buy a track and then, or lease a track and then, you know, go to a studio and just record it. And a lot of times, if you're dealing with an engineer, he just want to make his money to engineer your song. He ain't even gonna tell you what to do. He ain't gonna tell you, oh, it sound good, it sound. He just be like, yeah, okay, you want to take another take, and it's like whatever for him.
Yeah, I hate that.
I mean, I could go on and on with that, but I'm just saying, that was part of why I started the show. And like I say, I still do it to this day. I get music from all over the world. Like I get people from Europe, London, like Canada, Jamaica, all across the United States, East Coast, West Coast, up north, down south, everywhere. I get music everywhere. People send music all the time to me. And it's just so interesting to hear what people are doing. I get music from Africa. They doing trap music in Africa,
Ooh.
bro. Like that's the type of like. And don't get me wrong, they do other stuff in Africa too. But we get trap from Africa. I'm like, look, this is from Africa. It's an artist in Africa, and they doing trap music. Like it's, you know what I'm saying? But it's good, man. And some of the quality I get from some of these places, I'm amazed. I'm like, this sounds real good. Like the quality of the recordings. That's another thing. And I just want to tell a lot of artists, if you're listening, you know, take time. Just because you lay the stuff right or whatever, also take time in your mixing and mastering of that. Because I'm gonna put my DJ hat on now. Because as a DJ, if you give me that song, it don't sound right, and I'm in a club and you know big speakers and stuff, and I'm playing your joint and it's not mixed and mastered right, it ain't gonna sound right. I
Yeah,
don't
they
think
gonna
that's
hit.
on fire. So that's another step. I think artists need to definitely make sure they take their time. Like, don't rush. Take your time to do the right thing, to put the music out there right, to make sure it sounds right. And then, you know, because once you do it, you're good. Once you lay it right the first time, you're good. You ain't got no problems with it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I know I'm running my mouth, man. I know I'm running my mouth.
No, 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 no. But it's true. So me, like as an artist myself, not that I need a pat on the back or I need a
Mhm.
push, but it makes a difference in the record if the engineer is there like, all right, you want to do it again? All right,
Yeah,
cool. Because to me, I'm like, all right, it sounds decent. But then you'll have engineers that are like, bro, that was dope, but just that part right there.
there you go.
And then immediately I'm like, oh, this is the vibe. Okay, let me get in my bag. Let me
Yeah.
really. All that makes a huge
That makes
difference.
a big difference. And I personally think anything you put your name on, it's like a stamp. So if you're the producer, your name on it. If you're the engineer, your name on it.
Yeah.
So just because the person rap on it or a person sang on your track or whatever, and you don't care how they sound, it's still a reflection off of you because if you did something off of it, it shows who you are too. So you don't want anybody just to rap on your stuff and they don't sound right. No, take that time to talk to them. Take that time to listen. You got to have that producer ear. I don't know. Maybe some engineers don't have that. I don't know. I don't know. But you just got to have that. That's why I say when I do the show, I tell people on the show, I say, yo, I'm giving you 3 hats here. I'm giving you the DJ hat. I'm giving you the MC hat because I rap, and I'm giving you the damn producer hat because I produce. So I'm listening to everything in your project. I'm breaking it down in different aspects.
Yeah.
So, you know, but a lot of people like it. I get a lot of feedback. Like people listen to the show, they'll hit me up in the DMs and say, yo, you was right on point with what you said. Or if I gave it advice, they'd be like, man, I'm gonna take that advice. Thank you so much. I didn't think about it this way, blah, blah, blah. I just try to just talk the game. I'm not trying to say I know it all. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just giving you my experience from what I've been around. And that's it.
If DJ Ben Hop says not hot, it's not hot. Period. Oh
That's
man.
funny.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
So, as you're getting all this music from all over the world,
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, and the viewers are curious. Out of the entire world, what country do you get the most submissions from?
Oh no, definitely a lot from London, like a lot from the London, the Europe area, like that area. Definitely, I would say after that Africa, because I get a lot from Africa too, and then after that maybe Canada, like a lot from Canada, and then going down the line Jamaica. You know, that would be like the main country, like the countries like that. Like, but when it
Okay.
comes to like the United States, I'm gonna tell you right now, Georgia, California,
Hmm.
and I would say Georgia and California are the top 2 that I get a lot of music from. There's a lot of people in Atlanta, just the state of Georgia itself. yo, that sends me music all the time. And a
They
lot
got
of
the game locked,
they
basically.
got the game live. I'm not gonna lie. And they do some good stuff too. In California. California, they like Shy would say, they on some different shit over there. Like they like the way they mix and the way they do their songs, it's like it's just a totally different vibe. And they seem like they take time to put the effort in them to sound different, where they're not sounding like everybody else. So
Hmm.
I gotta give those two states like the top two. I get a lot from New York too. I get a lot from New York, South Carolina, Houston, like Texas, different
Okay.
spots like that. But Georgia and California will be my top two states. And like I said, can't forget Florida. I get a lot from Jacksonville, Orlando, Tampa, in the different cities like that too. And
Okay.
people doing listen, there's a lot of to me, there's a lot of good artists out there that like if like I give you an example. If I may hear an artist do a song and I'll say, yo, if Chris Brown did that same song, that song be playing on every radio station.
Hmm.
Because but it's just that the artist is not known. So
Right.
he may not get that break. But he has something that yo, if somebody that was known did it, forget about it.
Yeah.
It's a heat, it's a hit all over the country. It's
Yeah.
playing everywhere.
Yeah.
So, you just gotta stick to this game, man. Stick to the like you guys. You guys stick to the game. I know you guys, y'all do y'all thing. Y'all give that fire, that energy. You know, it don't happen overnight.
Nope.
You're like, no,
Nope. Let's be clear. I've been rapping since the 90s.
it don't happen overnight. Listen, you if you got a love for something, and that's the thing. Like with my wife, it's funny because my wife, because I DJ, as a DJ, you got the little perks, like you could drink while you DJ and stuff, you like, so it's like you having fun while you work it, and then at the end of the night, you actually get paid. So it's like, damn, you actually get paid to have fun and drink, right? So I say, yeah, I do. I mean, that's part of it. So my wife think I'm out here clubbing, but I'm like, no, no, no. I'm out working, even though it may look like I'm partying, but I'm actually working.
You got the girls in the DJ booth and
Listen, it's part of the game. It's part of the game.
yeah. Hmm.
It's part of the game, man. So,
Yeah.
but
Quickly going back to
yeah, go
Cali, when you were saying that you get a lot of submissions from Cali.
ahead.
Cali is such a unique state because there's not just one style
Not.
in Cali.
Mm-mm.
Those in LA sound different from those in the Bay,
That's
those in the
true.
East, right? It's so many different styles, and you got the gang talk.
Yeah.
You got those who are flashy. It's different.
Yes. And that's what I was saying, because you'll get so many different styles. And like you said, it's just, to me, they doing a great job, man. I've been telling people, like, every artist is just one hit away from making it big. Every artist, independent person right now is just one hit away from making it big. Like, you could have that one hit, and it goes viral. Next thing you know, it becomes the song of the year. Now you at an award show for best new artist. You getting an award for this song. It can happen to anybody that's doing music. It can happen. So, if this is your dream, like I tell people, if this is your dream, do it. Don't let nobody tell you anything different. Like, if that's your dream, just do it.
Yeah. On that, Blaze's new single, Can't
There
Fade,
you
is
go.
out. Yeah. On Spotify,
That's right.
Pandora,
Promote their joint, man. You got to promote.
title. Can't Phase Me, dog.
Matter of fact, I just put out I put out my album, some stuff that I did back in the 90s. It's called Hopduction. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Music, and all them streaming platforms. But it's called Hopduction. 15 joints of this is straight hip hop, hardcore stuff. Like, we were like the Wu-Tang of South Florida back then. Like, we were like the Wu-Tang of Miami. So it's like some hardcore stuff like that. I just put it out like this week. It came
Okay.
out. So if that's what you into, like you like to hear some of that hardcore stuff, then listen. I got kind of smooth stuff on there too, but it's mostly stuff that we did back in the '90s. That's what it was back then. That's what we were doing back then. So
Yeah.
I put it out, man. I
Yeah.
said, yeah, and all the guys that were on the project, very happy that I did it. They're like, wow, damn. They're like ecstatic. They were like, woo, man, you actually put it out. I said, yeah, man. So I'm happy about it, and I got more too. So this is just volume one. I'm gonna put some volumes out as time goes on.
All right.
That's right.
Do you know what time it is?
What time is it?
I don't think you know what time it is. You don't know what time it is?
What time is it? My clock say 9:45 right now.
It is color time. Color time. Color time. All right. This is the portion of the show called Color Time, where we get to have some fun.
Okay, yeah.
Not that we haven't been having fun.
Right.
But this you kind of get your wheels turning a little bit.
Okay.
And you get to think on the fly.
Hey, this is like a Jeopardy. Come on now. This is like this is like a Wheel of Fortune. Come on.
So in color time,
right.
I, the host, will name various colors. And for each color, you say the first thing that comes to your mind. So it can be logical, it can be educational, it can be deep and spiritual, philosophical, it can be a short story, it can be funny. There is no right or wrong answer. For example, in the past, I have said the color brown, and one guest might say chocolate or my skin complexion.
Right.
I may say that same color brown to a different guest, and they may say bird poop, or they say dog poop.
That's what came to my mind. Poop.
So the world is yours. So there is no right or wrong answer. It's your answers. All right. Are you ready, sir?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Color number one.
Yes.
Let's go with army green.
Army green. Oh man, avocado. I like avocados too. Now
yes. Avocado toast.
I love I like that now.
Indeed. All right. Color number two.
Yes.
Let's go with fluorescent white.
Fluorescent white. Ooh. I'm looking at like a Porsche 4-door. That's what popped in my head. 4-door Porsche. You know that the little sleek ones?
The show's over because that was all I needed right there. I can dig that, definitely. All right. Color number three. Let's go with a fiery orange.
Fiery orange. Oh, man. What would I say? First thing that popped to mind, I'm kind of blank right now. For fiery orange, all I could think of like the football stadium, the Dolphins, the old Dolphin Stadium when they had the Orange Bowl. That's all I could think of.
Okay. Yeah. Then you're going back in time.
Yeah. The Orange Bowl. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Color number four. Let's go with a midnight black.
Midnight black. Ooh. I'm looking at. I don't know if you saw that movie, Belly. Remember the girl? You remember that scene when they were like in that dark scene, and she had like they look real dark in that scene, and she had that oily skin. Yeah. That's what I'm looking at, like a female looking like that dark skin with that oily skin, like walking, and all you can see is that silhouette, like in the movie Belly. If y'all remember that movie Belly with Nas and DMX, that one.
So you're thinking about a woman with oil on her skin,
right? With that dark look, where she had that dark look, and like it almost looked fluorescent. Like the back of it was like, and she's like, look, I don't know if y'all remember that scene. There's a scene in the like kind of in the beginning of the movie. So
Is there a woman in particular that you're thinking about with oil on her skin?
no, just that the character in that movie. Like when you said that
I'm
fluorescent.
just trying to get you in trouble, bro.
No. You know. Nah, just the character in the movie. That's it. Just that character in that movie. When you said that, that's what first popped in my mind.
Okay. Let's go with next color.
Mm-hmm.
Rosé.
I'm thinking a bottle, like a bottle of something to drink on, boy, right now, boy. I'm thinking with some bubbly. Where the bottle at, man? I'm trying to grab one.
So like a rosé gold.
Yeah, baby, like a bottle to drink on, boy, with some bubbly. Like when you pop it, it's pouring all over the place. Like we celebrating a championship.
Hey, we got wins on this team, man.
There you
Every
go.
day is a win. All right, we got two more colors.
Yes.
Let's go with a rosy peach.
Rosy peach. Ooh. First thing that popped up in my mind is my little doggy that I got. My doggy. I got a we got a she's like a doodle mixed with a Saint Bernard.
Hmm.
And she has that nice little coat of fur. So when you say the rosy peach, that's what I could think of. Like when we picked her up from the place and they gave it to her, she was so just nice and they don't shed. Like all that fur, you put them on, they don't shed. I'm like, wow, that's what come to my mind. My little, her name is Glory, by the way. Glory, where's she at? Yeah.
Hmm. That's a powerful name.
Yeah, Glory. There you go.
All right. Final color.
Yes.
Let's see if I can throw them off.
Let's do it.
Final color is
Mm-hmm.
sheep white.
Chic white? Oh, wow. I'm thinking of ice cream right now, man. You got me. I'm thinking of ice cream right now, like some Haagen-Dazs or something, man. Like, what's the what I like? I like They used to have them all over the place. I can't think of the ice cream. The one that they had the little nuts and all that you could mix. Damn, what's it? The Dairy Queen. That's what I'm thinking of. The Dairy Queen. Remember the Dairy Queen Fluffies, boy? That's what I'm thinking of right now. I might have to go and get one.
You did good. You did good.
Thank you.
Clap it up, clap it up. You did good.
Thank you.
All right. So it's not a secret. Oh, look at Shawil.
This
You're
dude
hilarious.
I know she probably said, "Yeah, you fat. That's why you went to ice cream. You thinking about food right now."
Shout out to Shawil. It is not the best kept secret
Right.
that these past 2 years have been different.
Yes.
So in the midst of this pandemic, in the midst of this shift, in the midst of all this going on, how has it affected you and your business as a DJ, as a business owner?
Yes. Yes. First of all, I want to say to everybody out there, who has to deal with the pandemic and anybody who lost a loved one because of pandemic, my condolences, because this has been hard for everybody. And to me, this is not going away. This is basically a new way of life that we're going to have to figure out how to maneuver, to keep going. Yes, when it first started, shut down. Like money wise, especially for a DJ, you gotta remember if we're the ones making money off an establishment that is banking on a crowd coming in, and now you're scaring everybody in the world saying you got to stay away from everybody. There's nobody coming to no clubs.
Right.
So yes, in the beginning, the money as far as the money making money in the clubs, the whole year, I could say that whole first year, nothing.
Mm.
That's when a lot of people started streaming online. The funny part is I was streaming online way before this. This was something I was doing way before. But then you started seeing a bunch of DJs start streaming online.
Yeah.
Now, this is the only beef I had with it. That certain DJs, and I'm not gonna name no DJ because I don't want people to think I'm hating on them, but I feel like a certain DJ was allowed to stream 7, 10, 12 hours straight, but any other DJ, as soon as you started streaming, you get cut off.
Flagged. Yeah.
You get cut off. So my thing was,
I think I know which
you know
DJ
what
you're
I'm talking about. Okay. So this one DJ was allowed, and what happened is because he was allowed to do that, he ended up building his fan base tenfold. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, wherever he started at, because he was allowed to do that, now it like quadrupled. And what happened for him now, they made it where he's more marketable and he's now making more money from doing bigger things. But what happened is you didn't allow other DJs to do the same thing. You did not allow the next DJ to do that, to let them build a fan base and let them be more marketable. You didn't do that. So I feel like when the pandemic hit, yes, it was hard for everybody, but I feel like it wasn't fair for the DJs as far as you streaming. We get online, and I like with me when I stream, we don't stream on. I don't stream on um Instagram or Facebook. And I stream on Excitement Radio. Like we had, that's our own platform. I
Right.
could stream 24 hours a day. I get on live right now, stream. Ain't nobody cutting me off because that's our own platform.
Right.
But that's what I'm trying to say. Soon as I would get on IG, 10 minutes into the mix, I'm getting the call. I'm getting a little thing. Boom, your video cut because you violating copyright. But I'm like, wait a minute. But this next DJ, you
Hmm.
allow him to run 10 hours straight.
Hmm.
So yes, that wasn't fair.
Hmm.
The money was not. Did it stop the shows, the radio station? No, because we were able to do it remotely from, like Shy and I. Shout out to Shy. We were doing the best kept secret from the crib. Like I was logging on here. She was logging on in the crib, and we would do the same thing, except we would just be on the screen, kind of like how you and I be here, and
Right.
we'll play the music and to give our feedback. So we never stopped the show that way. The show kept going. But DJ wise, yes, we struggle. It was like the first year was a struggle because nothing was open. Now the second year when stuff started to open back up,
Mhm.
I started getting a bunch of calls, so the money started coming in. Is it as it's still kind of getting to that level because
Okay.
people still kind of moving cautiously because of the different strands out there, but you gotta know how to, like a hustler. You just gotta know how to hustle what you do.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was difficult. I know a lot of DJs probably had a hard time, especially if that's your number one main source of income.
Mm-hmm.
It probably was going to be real. It probably was real tough for a lot of cats. But we're still here.
Still here.
Still here, baby.
Yeah. Going back to that first year
Yeah.
of the pandemic, 2020, um, were there days that you felt you were going to lose your mind, or were there days where it was just extremely tough? And if so, what kept you grounded? Like what kept you sane?
Well, and I'm gonna reverse the answer on that because I think what kept me sane was the fact that I could turn on, like right here to the right, my right is my turntables. Like, let me pull out my little record right here. Like, so I got my records right here and stuff. I got my stuff here. But what I'm saying is, what made it sane was I was able to still do what I do and still stream. So I didn't feel like I was cut off from the world. I didn't feel like I was isolated. I still was able to come in here and just play music and have a good time with it.
Yeah.
So yes, that helped me. But I could imagine a person who maybe didn't have nothing to do and they were just stuck at home, that could be crazy.
Yeah.
That could be like, lose your head, like lose your mind.
Yeah.
But I think with me, it's like going backwards from what you said. Yes, I was able to keep sane because I was able to play music. I had that freedom here. Like I got everything set up in my crib where I could still do. Like I could go live here. I don't have to go to the station to go live. I could go live here. So that's why I never felt like I was disconnected. I felt like I still could connect. I could still be seen. I could still be heard. I could still vibe, and people could say, "Yo, yo, Hop, that's Hop. He vibing still."
Mm-hmm.
So I think that helped me out. So for me, yeah, that helped me out. I mean, I know other people probably had it hard, and like I said, to everybody out there, it's been rough. Blessings to y'all. Peace to y'all. You know, the Lord be with y'all because I know it could be very stressful.
Yeah, indeed. We have a fan in the comments.
Yes.
Sasha wants to see the
Oh,
turntable.
she want to see the turtle?
She
How do
want
I
to
do that?
see
let me
what the
see.
lab looks like.
Let me see if I can do this without. You see it right there.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to hide my liquor bottle right there, but there you go.
There we go.
There you go, right there. So I'm right there,
Real turntables, y'all.
Yeah. And then if I could show y'all some of the records without, you see, like right there, like that's the wall, like, and it goes way to the end right there, like 4 levels of records, and I still got my records. My kids are like, when you gonna sell your records, Dad? They worth a lot of money. I'm like, no, I'm not selling my records. I'm keeping my records. Dad, you can sell your records. I say, no, I'm keeping my records.
Yeah.
No, I'm not selling them. So, yes.
Yeah. My pops was a DJ back
Oh,
in
okay.
DJ Soul J,
There you go.
because he had the big soul, the big afro back in the day. Back in the, I'm gonna say 70s and early 80s. And he still has crates upon crates
Listen,
of
if you want to get
some
rid of them,
classic stuff.
if you ever want to get rid of them, let me know. I'll come see what I could snatch from them because it may be some stuff you have I don't have. So one thing I wish I did collect more of is the little 45s. As like back then, I didn't want to do the 45s because you had to have the little big like the thing to put to hold it, because some 45s didn't have the little hole like the record. They had the big one, so you had to put and it was just too much of a hassle. And I was like, so I wish back then I would have collected more 45s. That's the only thing. So if I find somebody with some 45s, I would definitely jump on those. That's the little records, if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, like the little ones. Because people say, what's a 45? The little ones, not the big ones, not the regular size one like this. Yeah. It's the little smaller one.
Yep. Yeah, I haven't seen a 45 in ages.
Yes.
Yeah. For those who were born in the 2000s, he is not talking about a gun, yeah. He's talking about vinyl.
Yeah, I'm not trying to shoot nobody. That is nah.
For the record.
For the record, correct.
All right, man. You've given already some great gems. Definitely. So to those up and coming, for those who maybe are younger and who never really had the experience of getting crates and finding vinyl and all of that, and they just kind of got started in this newer era. Any gems or any advice for those?
Well, if you're talking about DJing wise, I definitely would say learn the music. Don't only listen to what's playing now. Learn some of the old school music, because you'll notice that a lot of the old school stuff is what these new cats are like kind of copying from. Sampling, however you want to say it. So if you'll know that, wow, this person, this the original artist is this person from back in the days. So I would say learn your music. Like learn music. Don't just stay in just one genre as a DJ. Don't stay in just one genre. Learn music. Like learn rock, learn hip hop, learn, you know, the old school, just learn music. Like listen to music. You trust me, you'll grow your mindset and your library, and you'll know how to kind of, just to vibe out. Like if you're trying to create that vibe. And that's
Yeah.
what it is. Music to me is a vibe. It's not always about like when you're doing a vibe, you don't necessarily are trying to make people dance. And I'm not talking about a club setting like where you just going out the club. I'm just saying if you're creating a vibe, that vibe is what you create. It could be with new and old stuff. It's just know the music. So don't get stuck in just that's what I would tell a DJ. Don't get stuck in just one genre, one era. Just learn the music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very, very important. If you're playing music, so I would always appreciate
Mm-hmm.
DJs, and if it's on the radio shows or even live, and they start off the record with the original, right?
Yeah.
Right? And you're like, oh, and then they
Yeah.
transition to the new, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh,
Then you're like, oh, that's where like, yes,
and it
yes.
makes you appreciate the old. You're like, man, I gotta go back to that, man. I gotta find that record. I gotta. So
It's funny, right? Because my kids, okay, like when we would go, like when we travel, like take our road trips, whoever's driving at the time runs. We got to let it roll. Like whoever driving runs the music. So when I'm running, so when I'm driving, they already know when I'm playing nothing but old school stuff. Like I ain't playing none of that new stuff. So my kids from an early age knew like the Marvin Gaye's,
yeah,
knew the like the Luther Vandross, they knew those type of artists. They also knew the Biggie Smalls. They also knew the Tribe Called Quest, the EPMDs. Like they knew that because that's what I would play.
yeah.
So, my kids would know them songs. So I mean, and now and for them now they listen to the new stuff, but they know the old stuff too. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thinking, do you have a crazy experience? Like, what was your craziest event or party where you're just like, yo, this is a movie or this is just wild?
this okay, I'm gonna tell you. Okay, I've done a lot of parties. I remember doing a party right now in Florida. We don't get that cold in Florida, but there's some days like in a January and a February, like yo, the temperature may
Hmm.
drop, and it's cold. Like
Hmm.
you need like a coat or something because it dropped. So I remember doing a party one night. It was one of those nights that it was like cold, and they had it outside. They actually had the party outside. So people was like, it was cold, but people was rocking. They had a pool, bro. People started taking their clothes off, jumping in the pool. And I'm talking about this was cold weather. Like, I'm like, hell nah. I'm not jumping in. It was cold, but they were vibing so, like, the party was so much of a vibe. They were like, nigga, we got a pool here. We jumping in. Boom. Now it became a pool party. I'm talking about this is like late at night and it's cold out there. They didn't care. It became a pool party. And I'm like, wow, that's just one experience. But I mean, yeah, that one stood out to me because I remember that it was a cold, cold night, and they didn't care. They didn't care. And as a Floridian, we get kind of cold quick. You know what I mean? If you used to being in Florida, you get cold. So yes, it was one of them cold nights, and they jumped in the pool, and it became a pool party.
Well, that was your fault because that was the vibe of the
No,
music.
I was vibing so hard. It was like the party was not stopping. They're like, yo, let's jump in. And that was it. It was, and this was back with records too. Now this ain't it. This is not with like computer age. This was like with record era, man. And I'm like, but yes, that I remember that. That's one party I'll never forget. And it was packed too. It was a lot of people at the party. And like I said, it was a nice gathering, nice party. The vibe was doing, but like I said, as the night progressed, man, it turned into a pool party. And I'm talking, it was freezing outside. But it is what it is. They had a good time.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I know you've networked and you've met with so many people. Is there, out of all the people that you've met, artists and entertainers and other producers and such, um, have you ever been starstruck, or is there one person or one experience that is just long lasting, that it just kind of like plays in your head?
Well, I would say, as far as being starstruck, I think the only person that could ever struck me would be Michael Jackson. Like, by hands down. Like, I always said, if I ever see Michael Jackson, I'd be like, yo, where he at? Like, that's Michael Jackson. But of course, I never had that opportunity. I feel like being a DJ, because I was a DJ so long, that I got to see a lot of stars.
Yeah.
So to me, it wasn't like, oh, who's that? Or who's that? Or let me go. You know, I just used to see them all the time as a DJ. So I didn't get starstruck like that. I've seen a lot of people, but I do have to say, with social media now, I gotta say this, with social media now. Social media has connected me with some icons that I know in the past, and I gotta big up my brother Rampage, from the Flip Mode Squad.
Ooh.
I'm gonna tell you, and I got it. That's my brother to this day, and we never met like in person, but we have connected through social media. Like, I remember one day, because I've been doing my stuff with the radio, DJing, Excitement Radio, and all of that. I get a hit, and it was like Ramp, and he was like, "Yo, hit me up like that." I'm looking at him like, "What's this? Is this the real?" I'm like, "Is this the real Rampage?" Like, and come to find it was, man. We started just talking, and like I said, man, this brother right here, I'm talking about good brother, solid brother. I mean, anything I would, we just kind of grew to, like, became like brothers and stuff. Like I said, and we've never actually met in person because, I live here. I think he living on the West Coast somewhere. But we connect, we talk on a regular basis, and I gotta say that that's a good connection right there. He's a good brother. I mean, he has a lot of things going on. So if you guys go and check him out, the Real Rampage. From the Flip Mode Squad. Once again, if y'all don't know, Google that. He used to rhyme with Buster and all of them. So this, the first lieutenant. So this is my brother right there. So I gotta say, yo, to me, that's a lasting, like, a connection right there that I made. And there's a lot of brothers that I met like that, like a lot of brothers in the industry. Shout out to Chaos from Grind Mode, McCleasy. Like, I met a lot of these artists that were doing big stuff through the social media and what we do. So shout out to a lot of them, man. So
yeah,
that's something I can't, never. That's why I say I think social media is the gift and the curse.
Yeah.
So yes, so that was a gift, man. Got to meet some good people.
Yeah, definitely. I'm on social media, and sometimes what is going on? And then it happened to me today. Somebody posted something about the Republicans and the Democrats and all that, right? So I wasn't gonna get into it too much. I was just gonna say, listen, man, we all know both parties are pretty trash, right?
Yes.
Like, don't feed into. That's all I was gonna say.
Right.
And I click send. Shout out to Instagram.
What they say?
I click send, and they wouldn't send it. They sent me a message immediately, popped on my screen and said, you're about to send a comment that violates our guidelines. Do you
Wow.
want to go back and to edit your comment before sending it?
Wow. That fast?
That fast. So I had a decision to say, screw that, I'm gonna post it anyway. And if my account gets flagged, whatever, or go back and kind of tweak my
Wow,
comment. I'm
man.
like, they are not playing.
The gift and the curse. Like I said, it's a gift and a curse.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's how you know Big Brother's watching you, boy. Let me tell you right now, Big Brother's watching you.
Mhm. In everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Oof, man. So, in closing, man, I want to thank you again for giving us your time, for giving us your
Thank you so much.
insight,
Hmm.
your expertise, man. In closing,
Hmm.
um, a lot of people watching, a lot of people will be watching the replays and hearing the audios. This episode right here, episode 56, the audio version, will be available tomorrow on all your major streaming platforms from your Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, and so on and so forth.
Hmm.
And this YouTube video interview, the replay will be available right after we end this,
There
right?
you go.
So, so for those watching or those who will be watching and or listening, um, life is what you make it, and you know
Hmm.
there are ups and downs. There's the unexpected.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, do you have a favorite quote, or do you have a short story or any gift that you would like to leave the audience with?
Mm. And you know what? That's a good question. And I gotta remember to maybe, you know, have something to say because wow. Oh man. I would just say, listen, at the end of the day, live your life, just be respectable to other people. Cause we could agree to not to disagree to agree, whatever, but as long as you respect everybody's opinion,
Mm-hmm.
everything will be fine. I think in this world right now, we need more love. It's too much hate. We need more love, and
Yeah.
let's just respect everybody's opinion. You might like you said, you may like to be a Republican. This person may like to be a Democrat. Okay, respect their opinion if that's what they
Mm-hmm.
want to be. Don't it shouldn't be fighting, shouldn't be arguing. It should be love because we all human beings at the end of the day. So I would say, let's spread more love and less hate. That's what I would say.
Yeah, yeah. There's so much power in unity. So you have your views that are different. I have my views, but
Mhm.
maturity is I'm able to appreciate your, even if I don't agree, I'm able to see that there's some craziness going on my page. What was that? One time for the live show.
Right.
Man, yeah, I'm able, it's called maturity when I'm
Yes.
able to see your view, not
Yes.
agree, but respect it and appreciate
Right.
and be able to learn from it. Like,
Right.
oh, okay, I've
Correct.
never experienced that. Okay, that's dope.
Exactly. I don't have to agree with you, but I could respect what you're saying, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's
Now
not
it's so
my way
much.
is not the right way. My way is not the right way. I mean, your way may not be the right way, but we don't have to fight about it.
No.
No, let's just respect each other and keep it moving. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, let's show more love. I think there's too much. And once again, going back to social media, you see how they flag your comment, but yet they show all this violence on social media like it's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know. That's something else. So I mean, that's
It's,
a whole different topic. But anyway,
yeah. Yeah. I didn't even, I mean, there are people who have posted way worse,
right,
who have tagged the president, and I didn't go that deep. I just said, I didn't say which way I vote or
right.
anything. I just said, let's just be honest here. Like, both are not really the greatest,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You're
That's
right.
it.
You're right.
And they were like, hold on, what are you doing? It's like, wow, okay.
So
All right,
yeah,
so I see what it is. So yes, definitely, man. We are powerful united, and love. Love is the highest vibration, y'all.
All day, all day.
Love is the highest
Let's show more
vibration.
love.
So, um, in closing, how can they reach you? How can they book you for
There you go.
events? How
Now
can
you
they
talk
listen to
about
the
language.
show? How can they plug you in? Let's go.
Listen, you can follow me at DJ Ben Hop. That's DJ BENHOP. That's it on all platforms. Follow the radio station, Excitement Radio. That's at Excitement Radio. The way it's spelled, Excitement Radio. I didn't ghetto-fy it. I didn't, hood-fy it. It's just the way it's spelled, Excitement Radio. You can find us on all social platforms. Like I said, I stream live every Monday. I'm live on air every Monday. If you want to call in the station, you want to hear some new music from all over the world, check me out every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone to 9. Shy Will, shout out to Shy Will. Shout out to just everybody that's at the station. Shout out Mr. Flint, Raynex, ES, a Charito, just the different shows. Larry Love, just a bunch of different shows we have on the station itself. So you can actually go to the website and you can actually see all the different shows we have on there. So shout that. And of course, I want to shout out my lovely wife and my kids, Baby Slim and my kids, because, I love them dearly. They put up with my nonsense because, I could get kind of like, I could be locked up in here and blasting the music. They'd be like, hey, Dad, it's too loud. But I'm like zoning out. But shout out to them. So, and love to everybody out there. Y'all be safe out there.
Yes.
And of course, shout out to you, Blaze. Shout out to you. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. Keep doing what you're doing.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. Same here, man. You you have blessed us, man. You have given Ice Squad plenty opportunities to come on your show. Yeah, your show. Plenty opportunities to rock at events and
Yes.
venues and such, man. So when I was preparing this theme, rather, I said, well, being an artist, I know hella DJs.
Right.
I know tons of DJs being an artist. But guess what? It's only 4 Tuesdays in the month of January. Right? And the way how it worked out, the first 3 weeks happened to be all male DJs. Right? I said, how fitting is that? So I was getting a few females here and there. And I said, you know what? Let's group these women together. So next week, the last Tuesday in January, we have an all-female DJ panel.
That's gonna be great, man. I like that.
And it's female DJs from all over the world.
Great.
That's the gift of social media, right?
There you go. That's the gift. See, it's a gift and a curse, but that's a gift right there.
Yeah. So big shout out to you, man, Ben Hop.
Thank you so much.
Again, check out the radio station, excitementradio.com, right?
There you go. That's it.
Yes, best kept secret with Ben Hop and Shy Will. All right. Artists can submit music. You can call in, say what you feel, say how you feel, keep it real. And we're just loving your expertise. You're already getting praise. Normally, I would get praise. I would get texts and DMs about my artist. Oh, this was a great episode. He or she shine and blah, blah, blah. But while you're here already, thanks, Ben Hop. Your voice is so valuable. And I'm sure that's why the Lord put music in your heart. See?
I appreciate that. No, I do it. Like I said, I do it for the love. It's just a passion I have, and I'm gonna keep doing it. That's it.
Yeah, man. Don't stop. We need balance so bad. We need this balance so bad. So folks like you can't stop, man.
Yes. Because the radio is not giving you balance. The radio is giving you the same 5 artists all day long. That's not real radio. So Let's keep it real.
I mean, not to expose, but let's just say money makes the radio go round.
Bingo.
If you ain't know, now you know.
Bingo.
Oh, how come this song gets? Do you know how many songs that I heard them the first time and I was like, this is terrible, but I keep hearing it, and by the fourth time, I'm like, this is kind of catchy.
Yeah, they drill it.
I can dig it.
That's it.
It's not because the music is good.
Yeah, because they drill it. Anything they drill into your head. I mean, I know we got to go, but I'm just saying, anything they drill in your head, that's what it is. So yes, you're right. You hear something 20 times in a day, now it becomes a hit to you. Now it's like, oh man, this is a song, and it is what it is. But like I said, people like you who do your podcast and are able to give a platform to people to come on to just speak the truth. This is what we need. We need platforms, like I said, like that's why we have our platform, Excitement Radio, with the different shows. We allow people to come on there and just speak the truth. We don't sugarcoat nothing, and we keep it real. So we need more platforms like yours, like ours. Like that's what we need. We need to keep supporting each other, and that's how we grow it and get bigger and better at what we do.
Yeah, definitely. This here was episode 56. Again, big shout out to Excitement Radio. Big shout out to Ben Hop. Big shout out to Baby Slim.
Yeah, Baby Slim. Yeah, Baby Slim. I told her that's a rap name right there. You should be Baby Slim.
Oh, definitely. All day.
All day.
Definitely, man. In your day, in your week, man, remember some of these gems that you heard.
Yes.
Sometimes you may have to listen to a podcast a second time, and it's going to hit different. I will play these over in my car, and I'm like, I was the host, and I didn't even catch that. What the hell? So you never know. Sometimes one word or one phrase or one quote can spark an idea, can change your mood or change your life. And if it's changing your life, then guess what? You're going to speak about it and you're going to share it, and it's going to change somebody else's life and then somebody else's life. And that is how we change the world. So
that's how we change the world.
Do your part.
There you go.
Do your part. This was the Blaze the Lion podcast. As I always say, peace and love.
There you go. All right.